Good evening. Good evening, Tony Dattino. I am the founder of the USA Memory Championship, and here I am Monday evening. The days are going by so quickly, doing a live with Tony. And as I had said last week, I get my reading material, and here's my August issue of Massachusetts General Hospital, Mind, Mood, and Memory. And I'm reading an article in here that it triggered my thinking about some of our mental athletes and one of our committee members in a routine that they have adapted that now I'm reading this is like the latest and the newest of what to do with combining physical exercise and mental exercise. So I'm going through this August issue of Mind, Mood, and Memory, and bingo, here comes an article. You know that physical exercise benefits memory and thinking skills. So there's another article in here that talks about memory gets better when blood flow to the brain improves. So what we know over and over again is researchers have found that people in aerobic exercise and some form of physical exercise have a better long-term memory and better memory results with their vital nerve fibers than those that just are passive and not doing anything. So here comes, okay, so we're going to do workouts. So we are going to work out. In the UCLA newsletter on Healthy Years, they talk about physical exercise. We are now in an epidemic of news talking about physical exercise. Get out and do physical exercise. So here I'm thinking of somebody like Nelson Dellis. And Nelson is a mountain climber, and Nelson obviously is in physical shape and is doing all kinds of physical activities. But as he was talking to me one day, he was saying, my goodness, I was practicing my cards, my deck of cards that I do, while I was climbing up the mountain in Nepal. And I'm like, whoa, you're climbing up, I guess that's Mount McKinley. He's climbing up the mountain, he's playing a deck of cards as he's climbing up the mountain and practicing. So here comes, right? Pondering questions, we know that pondering questions, solving puzzles, provide benefits. So we combine exercise in knowing it improves blood flow and solving puzzles and pondering questions. But now comes a new fitness trend has emerged. Now, I haven't seen it at my gym, but I haven't been in my gym for a while. But they're calling it cognitive workouts. Now, this is amazing. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to at the fitness center that I've gone to for years. And when I sit down in the locker room and finish up from showering or finish being in the sauna, or I'm in the sauna, how many men I've talked to, I've not talked to women in this one, but how many men I've talked to that when I ask them, so this is what you're doing for your physical body, what are you doing for your mental fitness? And they look at me like, hey, I'm working out on my body. What do I need to worry about my mental fitness for? I have found a few, but now comes the newest craze as published by Massachusetts General. There is a new fitness trend called cognitive workouts, and its concept is simple. During a standard aerobic class or a Tai Chi class, the instructor will periodically ask a question or give a command. So now you're working out, and I'm on a treadmill, so I'm not worried about an instructor there. I've been to Tai Chi classes, I've been to yoga meditation classes, but in the middle of it, the instructor yells something out, and they're going to call this cognitive fitness. So I might think they're getting a little bit overly crazy with this and being so pronounced that this is cognitive fitness. But they will give a command like say hello to someone in a foreign language or multiply 12 times 15. So now, bam, multiply 12 by 15. And while you're up sweating, give your heart, lungs, and muscles a workout, challenge your brain, and challenge your thinking at the same time. So if I were there, I'd probably put up a 10-word list and say, okay, quick, here's a list of 5 words that we want to remember. As I thought about my last shopping things we didn't get a corned beef round. We didn't get quinoa seeds, which was on top of it. Quinoa, I'm probably screwing that up. We were going to put cherries on top of the kiwa. It was kiwa. God, I see the spelling. Kiwa. So we were going to put cherries on top of that and wrap it around some tire tubes that we had purchased, and then it squeezed out the cherries and made a mess. We needed to clean up with napkins. So now I say, okay, take 5 words and get on your treadmill and think about how you're going to remember those 5 words. And you may tell stories, you may link it to a Roman room. While you're on a treadmill or an elliptical, look around the gym and anchor to 10 items along the walls of the gym so that you can close your eyes and you can see these 10 items along your gym, from the clock to the exit to maybe a piece of equipment against one of the corners. And then think about 10 things you want to remember. So bring in your word list, or bring in something you need to go out and do in terms of grocery shopping, and just start to anchor it to those items. And so that's a combination of working out and using your brain, and this is now the exciting new trend called cognitive fitness. I'm like, where have they been? Our mental athletes, a number of them, if not, Paul Malora, a marathon racer, practicing memory techniques. I remember a young high school student in remembering strings of numbers. She remembered over 100 numbers, and she was swimming in a pool. She used the timing of her swimming to track how she was going to remember digits in the competition for numbers. So how do you do that? You just, hey, you know what? When you're in a physical routine that you're normally, it's not demanding that you keep track. You've got a digital item in front of you keeping you informed of how many minutes and what your speed is. Your brain can free up, and that's what mine does. When I run and the timer's set in my pocket, I'm thinking about the day's phone calls or the issues or the presentations I'm doing. In this case now they're saying, look, challenge your brain with something you want to retain, encode, and remember. Combine the health benefits with those that come with socialization. And you may have a class that benefits your body and mind. So now they talk about, while working up the sweat for your heart and your lungs, your brain is also like a muscle. So add in some mental challenges to that regimentation of exercise. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I think of Ronnie White. You know, Ronnie, when he was studying for some of his mental athletes, and Ronnie's a multiple USA memory championship, he was swimming and having kids jump on him and try to wrestle with them as he was practicing for his memory techniques. I think of Jim Karol. Jim is one of our committee members, helps us with defining and putting some of the activities together, and Jim is a big workout guy, and Jim does a lot of his workouts when he's practicing some of the things in his memory, and so he's exercising his brain, bringing oxygen in, and he's working out, remembering things like, you know, brain cells that we've got, bones of the human body, different chemistries. Now he's talking to me the other day about T cells and how the COVID-19 is going to be uncovered with T cells, and so here I'm reading today about cognitive fitness as you're doing your workouts. And this is the new trend. You can tell that to Jim, and he's been at this for 20 years. And he might say, where have they been? But a cognitive workout class is popping up at gyms and senior centers across the country. So we're doing cognitive workout at the same time that we're doing physical workout. And all I would challenge, based on what I've done in many of my Live with Tonys, is, so what are the right mental challenges? So it's interesting that we're now getting the messaging out on physical exercise, aerobic, or even some light weightlifting, but are we now also getting the message out of mental challenges, and what are those mental challenges? And I would submit to you, after running and hosting 21 USA Memory Championships and studying people for over 25 years and researching this, I think my team has got the right answer to how people can take that and simplify it in a way that gives them a level of confidence and gives them a way of starting into a routine that can then help them expand their growth and bring themselves up into a trend line that shows constant improvement. And that's been the secret to the Maximum Memory Mastery online course. how that was designed to give people benchmarks and give them opportunities of practicing over periods of time, so they weren't trying to eat the whole elephant at one time, but learning skills that they'd be able to sustain and build their own confidence and self-esteem at the same time, to me has been the secret of why that course has been so successful and why it's been blessed by the MIT, Princeton, and Columbia to be part of the National Science Foundation grant. So these are the things that, as I was reading this article in the August issue of the Massachusetts General Hospital, it was just hitting me. Cognitive workout classes are popping up, but if you're unable to attend an exercise class for social distancing reasons, you can still give yourself a cognitive workout while exercising at home. Come up with different things, and I say we make it easy for you. Go into the online Maximum Memory Mastery online course. We've got it, names and faces. We're going to give you numbers to do. We're going to give you lines of poems. We're going to teach you how to build social connections and relationships. We're going to teach you about brain health and the things that help you maintain strong mental fitness no matter what your age. And I'm going to be a bit arrogant at this time. I think we're about 20 years ahead of what they're discovering as the latest trend or fad. I think we've been at this for over 20 years. So with that, have a good evening. This is my Monday 7 o'clock broadcast. I've got more energy tonight than I normally do at 7. But we'll see you tomorrow. I'm back on tomorrow. It's Tuesday, and right now I'm scheduled to be back on in the 3 o'clock period. However, I've got a Zoom conference at 3, so I'll probably jump on either at 2:30 or I'll do it after my Zoom conference. So have a good night. I'm hoping to catch the Yankees against the Phillies tonight. I'm a Yankee fan. It's been delightful to watch baseball on TV and watch Aaron Judge keep smacking them over the fence. So at least I'm on a high in watching some Major League Baseball at this time of the year. And I just pray that all these men that are playing the game stay safe, stay well as I pray for my Live with Tony audience to do the same. Stay safe, be smart. ADOTTINO@AOL.com. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'd be delighted to talk to you and give you some further tips on anything that can help you to build and improve your mental fitness.